Hello, hello, Boundless Love friends and family. Hope that you're doing awesome, staying safe, praying for you all. If you are here in California, just taking care of yourselves, staying out of the fire and the smoke, praying for all the folks who are out there. We love you. And I am so excited to be on this adventure of book bites from Javi and my book, Boundless Love, Healing Your Marriage. Before it begins, always available on audiobook, ebook, and paperback. Super cute. On Amazon. And today we're going to be discussing chapter 7, which is commitment. And commitment is one of those topics in marriage and in relationships that a lot of people feel really strongly about, that they feel like that is the crux, the foundation, the base of a lasting, lifelong relationship and marriage. So what we're going to suggest today is that commitment actually happens every day and every moment. It's an ongoing, continual, lifelong journey. And so here are some of the cool pieces, really intriguing components of what we think in our experience commitment has helped us and really shown that other couples thrive when they involve these concepts. So the first thing about commitment, despite any stereotype of marriage being a negative commitment or a burden, obligation, something out of guilt or feeling trapped, we want to flip and reframe that and see marriage as a commitment that lifts you up and does not push you down. That is something that is really binding you in the best way to be your best self as an individual and as a team, not only with your partner, but with God as well. And you give to your partner when it's not convenient, not only then, but sometimes in those moments, because you're being life-giving, because you're offering up yourself for the betterment of the whole, and going beyond just your personal needs in that moment. And that's a real deep commitment and has some self-awareness and maturity around that I think all of us grow into more and more in our marriage. And it can, by doing that, it deeply reinforces the relationship. And that's us offering these small sacrifices. They don't have to be massive, but they count. And they really do reinforce trust and that and solidifying that connection. And this isn't about, totally giving up yourself, sacrificing everything who you are for that individual. It's being mindful and aware of how you can serve your partner, but not at any expense to yourself. Secondly, there's no keeping score, even with commitment. So it's not a 50-50. Well, you did this yesterday, I did this today. A lot of people would say it's 100 versus 100 or 150 and 150, right, percent. Depends on your perspective. But it's not about a struggle for power, because it's not power over, it's power with. And it's all shared based on the we, right? There's a we at hand, both spouses and God. And healthy relationships will go up and down, right? And they do that, though, by navigating that in this sort of crux or base of commitment. So this may be really hard right now. We're going through this, but we have this rock solid foundation in our relationship and with God that guides us and enables us and empowers us. And it really simultaneously going through adversity will strengthen us and heal us and purify us. So that is really in some ways the bonus of commitment, because even though when it's tested, it keeps on giving and we keep on growing, right? So that's huge. The third piece that I wanted to share is that understanding that our concept or paradigm of commitment is about not having a backdoor strategy or an exit plan or uttering the D word, divorce, or entertaining any of that. Sometimes our minds will just go to doubt. That's human. We're all broken. And we will sometimes go to those worst case scenarios and get caught up in mistrust and fear of our partner. But that is when we have to dial it in to God, right? And pray on it and also be forthright, right, with our spouse around what we're going through. The more you're able to really access your faith to squash and quell those anxieties and fears, the stronger you will get. And the more transparent you can be about what's going on for you if you feel estranged or alone, that is really also a beautiful part of the commitment, is that you're so committed to your partner that you want to talk to them about your deepest feelings, and you get the courage to do so. So that's huge, 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 huge gift around commitment. And then thirdly, and finally, in terms of the concept, commitment is definitely a huge concept and practice. So it's the theory and the behavior of marriages. And when you give to your spouse by making healthy choices, you're also growing in your ability to be patient. You're nurturing that environment and love between the two of you to be more forgiving. And you're also really accessing a deeper kind of unconditional love that will grow exponentially. So when you commit every day to your marriage, to your partner, and to God, you are strengthening your existing commitment and you're reinforcing your marriage. It's that simple and that powerful. So one of the quotes that we wanted to share from the book is, the practice of being life-giving is about leveraging your love to go above and beyond your ego to empower and support your partner in a loving way that may often, I should add, feel very inconvenient at the time. So giving up something that I want to do for what my spouse wants to do, or I see him really struggling, and out of my compassion for Javi, I will go the extra mile. That is something that's really beautiful and rare. And it strengthens a level of commitment of we've got each other's back and we see each other and we acknowledge each other. And that's a beautiful, beautiful display that I think we all aspire, right, in all of our relationships, but especially in our marriage. So this is a very exciting part. This actually is in our book, these reflection and action questions. This is the homework and sort of like a journaling guide. So I just shared a couple, the reflection and action questions for chapter 7. And the first one is, what are 2 small things that you can do, or gestures, for example, in the next 24 hours that can make a powerful difference in showing your love for your partner? So this may be putting a chocolate under their pillow, or writing them a love note, or making them lunch when you're making lunch. It can take out the garbage. You can fold their laundry. I mean, there's a ton of things, right? Those are very basic. We're in quarantine, y'all. It doesn't have to get fancy. So what can you do in the next 24 hours? It's a little challenge. The second one is a broader question, which is about when you look at the life of a relationship in terms of courtship, engagement, and marriage, are you ready to transition into any of those stations, or in any of those areas, right? Are you interested in transitioning from engagement to marriage? Is that something that you're thinking about? Or even when you're married, are you thinking about how you can potentially access some of your courtship, right, or honeymoon period in your engagement stage, or early marriage stage? So how can you make all these stages of your marriage alive in your current relationship? And it's just a fun way of thinking about, we can always reinvent, we can always recommit. And this is hopefully really exciting and empowering for your relationship, because there are really hard times, right? We all hit bottom at some point, but there's no way that we can limit ourselves in thinking that's it, because it's constantly in flux, and we are extremely resilient in our faith, and we will always bounce back, especially if we have commitment with God. So I just want to say thank you a million times. Virtual kisses and hugs. Stay strong, friends and family. We love you, and Javi will be back. Next week is around sexuality and intimacy, a very exciting topic, chapter 8. And we cannot wait to see you then as well. Have a blessed day. God loves you, and we love you too. Bye, everyone.